Hey there viewers, and welcome to the very first episode of Everyday Carry Opinions, or as we'll refer to it from now on, EDCO. Other name's too long. I'm your host Zach, and today we are going to review a knife that I have to say is now my favorite knife. It is the Cold Steel Voyager XL, and that's the box just to show you what it comes in. On the back it has a warranty just saying that they'll cover any manufacturing defects, wear and tear, and abuse of the blade don't count. Here's the knife. I have to say, it's big. Other words I would use to describe it are awesome, huge, sharp, enormous, tight, gigantic, comfortable, massive. I think you get the idea. It's big is the overwhelming feature. This is my previous biggest pocket knife, the CRKT M1613 SFG, and that is dwarfed by this knife. The Voyager's handle is almost as big as my whole CRKT. So let's get down to it. Let's start reviewing the knife. We'll start with the blade. It's a AUS 8A steel. That's hard to say. So it'll hold an edge very, very well, and will take an edge. I got the Tonto version with the plain edge. You can't get serration. I didn't get the serration because it's 3-point serration. The only serration I really like is the VEF serration on like this. That's the one thing CRKT has going for it. I like their serration, but I have to say, after seeing how sharp this Cold Steel came, I can do without serration. I need sharpness. This edge came sharp enough to shave hairs. You know, stays where you put it on your thumbnail like it should, and accidental testing on flesh shows that it's very sharp too. Here's a quick video I did of me slicing through a 1 liter Sprite bottle with this knife. As you can see, very, very sharp. It's a 5.5-inch blade, like I said before, and the thumbs that I like, it's almost got like a screw pattern around it. Looks like the threads of a screw, and gives it a great grip. For opening for such a large blade is actually very, very smooth. So you can put your thumb like this, hold it like this, put your thumb like that, and just flip it out. As you saw, that first try was a fail, and it closed back. That's part of the lock mechanism, is that it does close back, which is a safety feature, but you want to flip it out with some determination, because if you get your fingers in there and it closes on you, that happens, and it's not pretty. If you want to see, I'll warn you, there's blood, so view at your discretion. Here's a picture of what my finger looked like right after I cut it. That was this morning. So just be careful, and that's just a feature of the lock, just to make sure that when you stick your hand down in your pocket, you don't come back missing a digit because your blade was out like that. It'll stay out if it's more than like that, but you know, really it's not designed to stay out that far anyway. The lock goes right there. And speaking of the lock, let's talk about the lock. It's Cold Steel's patented triad lock, which they put on pretty much all their knives. And the main features of this are its ability, its stiffness. I mean, this lock is just rock solid, does not move at all. But also, it's supposed to transfer all the pressure from the blade to this stop pin right here. The head of that rivet you see right there comes, that's the head of the stop pin. You have your pivot down here and your stop pin up here. When the pivot comes around, this little divot, rivet and divot, this divot here in the blade closes around the stop pin so that any positive pressure on the blade or pressure on the sharp edge of the blade goes through the blade into the stop pin, into the handle. Any negative pressure or pressure on the spine of the blade goes down around the fulcrum into the lockback bar and into the stop pin. So all the pressure is transferred into the stop pin into the handle. Also, with the triad lock, they left room in there so as the faces of the blade and the lock rub together and wear out, it'll just push down farther and still lock. Obviously, I haven't had it long enough to test and see if that works, but that's the idea. Cold Steel has a diagram on their website, and on their Espada video, they do a great job explaining it. So, if you didn't get what I was trying to say, just go to their website and look at search Cold Steel Triad Lock. Moving on to the handle, we've got a Grivery handle with a cross texture on it. The texture is a bit rough, so if you've got delicate hands, it may not be comfortable to use. It's a very big handle with a lot of gripping options. You can choke way down on it and use this little cutout here for your forefinger, index finger, and as a hilt, so that you can't push up onto the blade. You can also move back a little and put your pinky in this divot here, and your index finger in this one, and that gives you a little more relaxed grip for a little more extension. Or if you want maximum extension, you can put your ring and middle finger in these grooves here and wrap your hand around that way, and that gives you almost a pistol grip with maximum reach. With a 5.5-inch blade and 3 to 4 inches, I'm guessing, between your hand and the blade, that's the reach of an 8 or 9-inch knife in a 5.5-inch package. That's pretty impressive. There's a small lanyard hole here, big enough to fit some 550 paracord through. I had some gray paracord I tried, but I didn't like the way that looked. I need to get some OD green. I'm going to put some OD green through there. And this is the pocket clip. It is designed for point up, right hand carry. That's what it comes installed as. And they give you another clip that goes on that can go on the other side for left-handed pocket up clip. You have to remove the right hand to put the left hand on though. And the reason they give you two is because they're curved to fit the contour of the handle. Yeah, and that's the only reason they give you two. If it was universal, they'd just tell you flip it. So it comes with an extra clip to the knife. That's it. I have to say, I like this knife. Opening it is a breeze. You can just hold it like this, put your thumb there on the stud and flip it, and it opens. Or you can open it backhand, holding it like this, and then easily transition into a backhand stab or slicing grip. Or, yeah, I guess you could move down here, but that's kind of awkward. Anyway, I have to say, this is an amazing, amazing knife. Sharp, comfortable, and not and big enough to where it's the biggest I could legally carry. So I would definitely recommend this knife. It is sharp, big, but they do make smaller versions. If 5.5 inches is too big for you or illegal in your state, if you're like in California or DC, I don't even know if you could carry a knife in either of those places. But I would definitely recommend this. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been EDCO with Zach, and remember, preparedness is the best policy. Thank you.